Coach, it was a gritty come from behind win. Your thoughts on the game?
I loved what I saw, obviously, in the seventh. I think for us, just like getting on the board and scrapping and getting runs, I think that's who we are. The first six innings, I wasn't necessarily pleased with. I thought we didn't really make adjustments soon enough. And I thought that she was giving us some pitches that we could really hit. So, later in the game, I thought we looked better, but I wish we had come out that way swinging, obviously, from the get go. We had a few costly errors. And I preach defense all the time. I think defense wins games. So, we got to do a better job of just cleaning stuff up. And, it was just a Tuesday game that wasn't as sharp as I would have liked it to be going to the weekend, but we have a couple of days of practice to figure some things out.
And then you have with you freshman Kayla Roncin. Kayla, you had a big RBI single in the sixth. Can you just talk about that at bat and how that really proved critical in helping your team win?
Yeah, so we needed to get a run on the board just to start chipping away. And we had some big walks and hits before me, so I knew I need to put the ball in play and put it somewhere where I could score the run around third. So I was just trying to hit something that I can get to the outfield and get it down.
And you are a freshman, just now 11 games or 11 games into the season. I mean, how have you seen your year going so far?
I think we have a great team chemistry. We really build off of each other. And everyone, if I don't do good, someone picks me up, and it's the other way around. And I think we really work well together.
And then coach has commended you on your adjustment from the outfield to the infield. How is that? How have you seen that transition going so far?
It's been great because the other girls have really been working well with me, telling me what to do and where to play. So they've been really helpful, and that's been great so far.
And then finally, what does it mean for the team to pick up a second win against a crosstown rival and ACC member in Boston College?
It's a big deal. It's definitely a win we want to get, and it's great for BU to represent and just put our name out in Boston.
Well, thanks for joining me, Kayla, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
I BU represent. we went to a new place on that. I liked
it. Coach, one person who really stood out though was Ali Boaz to come in with a deficit. She really shut down BC. Another great performance from her.
Yeah, I mean, Ali B is doing her thing right now. I love it. I mean, she's confident in the circle. She relies on the defense, and she knows how to pound the zone. I love it. She attacks hitters without fear, and I think that's a great thing. I told the three pitchers I was really happy that all three of them could work together. I thought Avery actually, starting this game, I thought she did a really great job just commanding the zone and doing a better job of getting outs. And, that was a step of improvement. Obviously, Ellie came in at a critical point and got a huge strikeout, and then obviously we had, kind of a mistake. Figured we could change the momentum a little bit, give Ellie B a shot, and she closed the door, which I thought was, excellent. I mean, I want to have a lot of resources going into conference play, and I want to know what our pitching staff really looks like. Obviously, Gant's kind of coming back right now and working herself back in practice. And, you'll probably see her a lot more in conference. But I tell you what, it's a really strong staff if everybody's on point.
Right. But obviously the pitchers can't win if there are no runs on the scoreboard. And going back to Kayla, what do you think this will do for her confidence getting that big RBI single late in the game?
Yeah, I mean, for Kayla, I think she's a kid that's played the game, her whole life at a really high level. I think this is the first time she's probably ever failed in her life, and coming in transitioning to Division I softball, and all of a sudden you have stats and games and every outcome matters. I think that she's like transitioning and trying to figure that out. I think this was a huge step in the right direction. That was a really timely hit. And, she's been working every single day to try to find her mental game, try to get herself to a place where she can really contribute. And I thought today was a good step. She's a kid that I think I told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to pull you in the infield, trying to keep her bat in the lineup because I know she can do big things. She's like, I'll catch. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And I love kids like that because that means she just wants to play the game. She's going to give me what she has every single day.
Right. And you mentioned how the team wasn't necessarily adjusting to the pitches. In the seventh inning as a coach, I know you're fine with strikeouts, but obviously if the other team's committing errors, you want to see that ball just put in play. So how do you approach that as a coach late in the game where there are offensive struggles?
No, 100%. I think that's it. Like Scotty, I say that all the time. Put the ball in play, make them have to do something. You know what I mean? And I think finally in that last inning, late in the game, I mean, that's exactly what was happening. We were starting to actually put some solid pieces. I mean, Kate Ropes went through second base, right? And then AJ has a brilliant walk. You know what I mean? Little things like that, those add up. But to us, I mean, our message is pass the bat. the more times we pass the bat, the more eyes are seeing that pitcher, the better chances we have. So I think for us in that last inning, that was what it was about. Put the ball in play, make them make a play. And if they make it, fine. But if they don't, I mean, look at Lauren Kelleher. That was a slow roller. She would have been out by a mile, and it just took a kind of a funky little hop, and the second baseman didn't make a play on it. So the game is weird. The softball gods are weird. You never know what's going to happen. So for us, I'm just glad we played hard all the way through the end, and we're able to walk away with the W, even if it was ugly.
And then going into conference play, what do you think this does for the team, having a grind it out, come from behind, late inning win game?
You know what? I love it because I think this is what preseason's all about. You figure out who you are, and I always say, like, your identity comes in moments when you don't know it. And I think today you could see a lot of people got in this game. A lot of people contributed in different ways. And it was a full team win. You had 3 pitchers that were on the mound. You had a couple pinch hits, and whether there were outcomes or not, there was people stepping in different moments. So I think for us, it's a matter of how much depth do we have and how many people can step in and get the job done. And the energy was really great late in the game, and I think that's what propelled us. And this is a team that can do big things if they stay and do it together.
And then one last question. How do you think about I know you've made some adjustments so far with the batting lineup. How do you think it is right now as you go into conference play?
I might have you write one up, Scotty, and then I'll just go with that. I think I tried to move Jen up, and I think Jen likes being in the middle of the order. There's a little bit less pressure. And her and Emily Gant are great to utilize their speed together. So, I think I'm always trying to figure it out. I mean, Lauren's been great with getting a couple hits a game, and, we just need someone that's going to do the timely hitting. I don't want it to be 1 through 4 or, 1 through 5. I need it to be 1 through 9. Or at least 1 through 8. So, we got to figure that piece out. You got to own one part of your game, and if you own both, then you're a great player. And we have a couple of those, but there's some of us, we got to figure out, are we owning our defensive end? That's why we're in the lineup. Are we owning our offensive end? That's why we're in the lineup. And, I think right now we're still trying to navigate what that actually looks like and give some people a shot. I think obviously early on in conference play, there might be changes, and it's a year that you never know what's going to happen. So I need to keep everyone ready.
All right. Well, congrats on the win, Coach.
Thanks, Scotty.